Pictures up.
Last looks. Rolling.
And action.
Welcome to the Last Looks podcast, Amy.
Thanks for having me.
Or should I say welcome back?
Thanks.
So on this bonus episode, Amy, you're going to dive into two things. And the first one is first day on set. And the second one is expectations versus reality.
Yeah.
And so our listeners understand why I invited you onto the podcast to discuss this topic and many more. You've written a book called Training to Trainee.
Yes, I
And there it is. Amazing. Okay, so tell us a little bit about what the book is and why you wrote it.
So the book is for trainees and new people to the industry, to kind of gauge whether the industry is for them. Some stuff like set etiquette, how to write a resume, portfolio build, how to find work, just all the key stuff that you might need to be in the industry. After leaving makeup.
Yeah. And what made you write it?
I think many days of feeling anxious on set and not knowing what was going on firstly. And then I think you and I kind of discussed this before as well, that a designer kind of said to me one day, I had just stepped up to the next kind of rung in the ladder, if you'd like. And a designer said to me, I wish I could just download all your knowledge and give it to the trainee because she was new. And I kind of thought, it's not a bad idea. So yeah, it often was like a PDF Word document and then just evolved into this.
This amazing book. That's so cool. Okay, so let's kick into this episode where we chat about that terrifying first day on set and the expectations versus realities of this industry that we work in. So what is the scariest thing about your first day on set?
I think when you first join, and I'm sure you can attest to this, is everything is terrifying and scary. And it's a learning curve. You're kind of learning as you go. And also, not that I'm biased, but I think the book is so handy for that reason, because it's kind of going to cover all those things that you might expect or not expect. So then when you walk on set for the first day, you'll feel prepared, know the kind of terminology used on set, the different set etiquette, the way to behave. Yeah, lots of stuff, and be prepared. And also similarly, along the same vein, if you have never been on set, you might not know what it's like, and you might decide it's not for you. So this will kind of give you an overview before you even step foot on set as to what to expect.
Right. Yeah. Before you put too much
Yeah.
time and effort into something that you're like, oh God, that sounds horrible.
Yeah.
Do you remember your first day on set?
Oh gosh, yeah. I'm saying this before, it's etched into my memory. Just like I was saying, not knowing what is going on, and people talk on the radio, different terminology and different bits and bobs, and you think, what is happening? Who are these people? So yeah, it's terrifying. I do remember it forever.
I imagine it'd be quite exhausting too. I mean, you must get to that end of that first day or even that first week and just be like, oh my God, because it's just constantly trying to understand the world around you. It's like being a little newborn at work.
Where am I?
Exactly. I think my first day on set, it was maybe not a usual day, because it wasn't a full-time position or job or anything like that. I pretty much just been hired to kind of take down hair and wrap out background. So I just kind of came in later in the day and we're taking out all these period hairstyles, organizing and cleaning the pins and stuff and getting it all tidied up for the next day. And I only did one day of that, but it was like my first day on anything. And amazingly, I guess because there was 2 or 3 of us that were in the same boat, that it was very fresh. Like we were so green, not knowing what on earth was happening. But the head of design, the head of department, Jackie Leong, I think her name is, she was just like, do you want to go and have a look on set for a minute? And I was just like, yes. Yeah, so it's just like you get told it's to say you've got to be quiet, and I'm just like so paranoid that I'm gonna, I don't know, all of a sudden have Tourette's or something and scream something or yell something out or do something, trip over and be loud. But it was an I Love Lucy film that they were making in New Zealand. And so we went onto set, like on a sound stage. It was more like a warehouse that they'd converted into somewhere to shoot. And it was a set within a set. So it was the I Love Lucy set within a set. So I was like seeing these like a set from the past and then current day set. So it was so cool because they had the tiered seating with the, you know, the live studio audience kind of thing, and then the a little bit of the house set and stuff. And I was only in there for like a minute maybe, but I just was like, it's all so magical. But yeah, I don't know if my first day, I was still, even though I knew what I was going in to do and it was such a simple task, I was still so nervous, like didn't sleep properly the night before, just, you know, driving in there like just like terrified. So it just feels, I don't know, maybe some people are just naturally calmer, but I was definitely stressing out about it. So are there any pointers for someone's first day on set? Like what is some advice that you would give them?
I think be mindful and kind of read the room and the situation, because some heads of departments like a quiet boss, some like makeup designers or hair designers like music and talking and frivolity. So I just think we're kind of going quietly and read the room and get a gauge on the vibe on the bus. And on set, you've always got to be quiet, so that's just a given. Definitely don't go in there loud.
Yeah.
And then I think probably off the back of that, just always try and put your best foot forward, try and do the best job you can. I think you mentioned, or one of us mentioned about the hours we kind of do, and it might have been in another mini-sode, but the hours we keep are so long that, you've just got to be enthusiastic throughout it all. Even if you're absolutely knackered, you've just got to put a smile on, a brave face, and say, I can do this, it's fine. I think as well, asking kind of how the designer or the team like things done, because even if you do know how to do something, the team or the designer might like it done a specific way, or they might have a better or more efficient way of doing stuff. I think always ask. It's better to ask than not ask, really.
Yeah. I think that kind of goes back to, can you kind of join that into the first episode, like the last one we were talking about being flexible. So you have to be adaptable to how other heads of department and designers like things done. So instead of responding with, but that's not how I do it, maybe that's, you know, stay away from
how you do it.
stay away from that kind of response. It's just like, yep, however you want it done, that's how I'll do it. All good, no problem. So being able to go with the flow a little bit about that. So is there anything you can do in preparation for your first day on set to like alleviate that anxiety and stress that I've just been rabbiting on about?
I definitely think feel organized. So go in, I think if you're first starting as well, with a notepad, kind of a pen, a pencil case, and just have that ready to take any notes. Just note down what people are saying. I think one good thing you can do is kind of research the job. So if it's a second series of something, watch the first series. If it's trying to think a period film, or again, it's been done before. If it's a period film, you can research the period. Or if it's been done before, again, research it and have a look. Or if it's a book, look up the book. I think looking up your team as well is quite nice. You can go in and say, hey, I saw that you did Maxine and I really love that film and that's great. So that kind of stuff I think is nice. And then some people as well like to do a dry run kind of to unit base. So just wherever the base is, if you drive and see how long it's going to take, and then add some extra time for traffic and that kind of stuff. Then one other thing I think is, like, I love my bed. I struggle to get out of bed. So I set like 2-3 alarms, because if I accidentally snooze one, or stop it rather than snooze it, it's curtains if you've just got one. So you want, it's like a few. But then again, usually you're so nervous, aren't you, on your first day? You're just like, barely slept the night before. You're up at 4 a.m. ready to go.
It's so funny that I even get that now, that I go to sleep stressing that I'm going to sleep in.
But you don't.
And there's no way that you're going to, because you're like, your eyes are like ping awake like an hour before your alarm's meant to go off.
Yes.
But it's just because you've been so nervous all night, like you're waking up every couple of hours, checking the time, going, "Oh, have I slept in? No, I've still got time. Okay." It's just so funny how your brain destroys you like that.
Oh, it's awful. And then also off the back of that as well, I think is one good thing is to have your kit kind of by the door, because then you know I've got everything I need by the door and I've not got to worry in the morning, oh, I need a powder at 5 a.m. and be rooting through your kit. You know, it's all ready to go. Just
Yeah.
being prepared and making yourself feel calm and organized, I think.
Yeah,
It's
that's definitely going to bring, I mean, it's probably not going to completely get rid of those stress levels or that, that anxiety, that nervousness, but at least there are sections that you have control over and you
yeah.
can organize and make sure that okay, that is sorted. That is sorted. I have 3 alarms set. I'm definitely going to be waking up on time.
House is the list.
Exactly. And just with expectations versus realities, what are some that you've kind of encountered on jobs?
I think you nicely touched on this the last one of the last mini episodes, but I think people sometimes think, oh, it might be glamorous, but it's not. It's long days. You know, we're outside, open to the elements, because we're filming for 12 hours a day outside in the snow, that kind of stuff. So
Mm,
definitely dress accordingly for that. I don't know. I think sometimes as well, like I don't know what it's like in terms of over there, but over here a lot of the time the trainees will do kind of like the paperwork side of stuff and like collect lunches or grab coffees and teas. So I think sometimes they walk in and might think, I'm just going to be doing hair and makeup. I actually worked with a trainee who, when she like kind of rolled her eyes and tutted when she found out that she wasn't doing main cast, but I also was like, on the flip side of that, why do you want to put that pressure on yourself? You come in and learn the ropes and kind of get to grips with everything in the team. And yeah, especially if you've never worked with the team before, a lot of it will be doing, the paperwork and the other side of it, of the job. Yeah.
yeah, because I think, am I correct in saying that each designer is kind of different as to what tasks they give their trainees to do? Like some you won't even be doing any hair and makeup, and then others you might be helping out in crowd or maybe getting a stunt double ready, or I don't know. Like there's different levels, right?
Yeah, definitely. And also as well, it varies in film and TV. So like a lot of the time in film, because it's higher budget, you might have a team of trainees who therefore will be just doing kind of the continuity and, like I said, getting lunches and stuff. But then if you're doing TV, because they don't have the budget or they don't have the luxury of, everyone kind of has to pull their weight. So even as a trainee, I've done kind of main cast on a TV series because we don't have the luxury of having a team of people.
Yeah.
So yeah, it totally depends on the designer and the job requirements.
And that just comes into being flexible again, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Being enthusiastic no matter what's being thrown your way. It's just like, oh, I'm getting tea and coffee. Great. I'm so excited.
I love coffee. Like
Well, it's the thing too. It's just like, do it to the best of your ability. Like,
yeah.
don't be like, I'm just getting coffee. Like, someone brings me a great snack from Crafty and I'm like, oh my God,
You'll
thank
get
you.
life, yeah.
I don't even know what it is. This is terrible, but I don't know. It's like I just had the most wonderful crew of strangers because I worked somewhere else and I had to hire people that I didn't know. And they had this amazing vibe of just like, really wanting to do their best. And I love coming across that. But it gets a little bit awkward when it comes to like getting me something from Crafty. And I'm like, do you want anything from Crafty, Jaime Leigh? And it's just like, oh yeah, I'd love a green apple. And then I did the mistake of saying, make sure it's a good one.
Oh. Get me
because I'm super fussy about apples, but it's just like, and I knew that it's just like, God knows what kind of apples Crafty have. I mean, they're going to bring back the best of, but also you just know that some people, I don't know, they don't bother to kind of look at what's available and try and pick the best one. They'll just like quickly grab any old crappy apple. But it was so it was so cute that how that must have, I don't know, the communication about Jamie and her green apples got through the team. And then I would have like the odd day player be like, come back with an apple and they'd present it and it would be like, this was the best one there. And I think it looks pretty good. And I'd be like, it does look good. And then like 5 minutes later when I bite into it, I'd be like, it's good.
8 out of 4.
It was like A+ on the apple grab, but it was just so cute. I don't know, it's just that enthusiasm and that something as stupid as like going to grab me an apple, but it just made me, I don't know, appreciate them even more. I was just like, oh God, you guys are trying to do your best across the board, even to make sure that I have a nice apple to eat on set, because I just couldn't. It was one of those jobs where I could really get away from set. I needed to be there a lot. So, yeah, guys, be helpful.
It does.
The boss will love it.
It does. It sounds so silly, but like going to get a tea or coffee or a green apple, but it does make the world of difference. Like especially when there's a makeup artist or hair artist, and you've been sat on set. Like I've as well looked after number one, where he's been in all day every day, so can't leave set or do anything. And so someone just comes up with a cup of coffee. You've been sat outside for like 3 hours. It just makes such a difference, and like they truly are the people that get hired again and again because it's the small things that make such a difference. And I know it might not be doing hair and makeup immediately, but these are the things that are important, and it's important that you kind of work from not the ground up, but you kind of understand how each role goes as throughout the team. So it's best to be a supportive like makeup artist even. But yeah, having a cup of tea or coffee makes a lot of difference, or a little snack.
Yeah, I remember talking to Flora Moody when I interviewed her. It was a few years ago now, and I said something about not having trainees here, and she was like, "Who makes your cup of tea?"
Sorry.
And she was like half joking and half not, but I was just like, well, one, I don't drink tea, but also it's just like there's always someone that can help you. Like, but it was just the most. It was. I mean, it was funny.
It's so very important for British people as well to have a good cup of tea.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Well, awesome, Amy. Thank you for joining me. And guys, if you want to dive into the subjects and so many more, it's all in Amy's book, Training to Trainee. Yeah, and I mean, that's the first step in putting your best foot forward, I think, is arming yourself with a whole bunch of knowledge, and that's a good place to start.
Knowledge is power.
Knowledge is power. There you go. And hopefully that knowledge that's in the book is one more thing that can help you really like not have so much stress and anxiety and worry on your first day, because you'll understand a little bit more than well, probably a lot more than someone who hasn't read the book, who is going in completely blind. So how do our Last Looks crew get their copy, Amy?
So for our lovely Last Lookses, www.trainingtotrainee.co.uk/last looks, and then you'll also get a 5% discount on that as well on your order.
We love a 5% discount. And on Instagram, how can they follow you?
Oh yeah, so I'm trying to build a kind of online community, supportive community, and hub for trainees. So if you follow @Training to Trainee, there'll be lots of information and jobs shared on there and different bits and bobs as we build a community. And yeah, we're sharing lots of lovely makeup kings.
Yay, I love it. Thanks so much.
Thank you.